Welcome. After 3 years of traveling around the world twice,
Twice.
we look back at our time living the American dream and realize that giving up those things, giving up what we thought was the perfect life or working on it, we really don't miss a lot of it. And we wanted to share those with you. Maybe you're struggling with the thoughts of giving those things up, and we can provide some inspiration or just a little different perspective. So this is not to be negative in any way. This is just what we've realized after the time away and after having gone back to visit recently.
Yes, when you really have the time to go back and compare, how is life outside the country and the things that make us worry when we're living in there, it's really, a lot of stuff that is just here.
So the first thing that we don't miss is that push, that constant consumerism, the keep up with the Joneses mentality that just pervades all of the ads on TV and just walking through the stores and the malls. Just everything is about buy, buy, buy.
Yeah. Having actually the facility, I guess is the word, of easy access to everything. And, the same day delivery, Amazon and all that, it's just becomes kind of an addiction to buy every day or every week, at least, 2 or 3 things that you really don't need.
And the ease of returning stuff. You go and you buy 2 or 3, 4, 5 things. You only want to keep really one, but you can return the others. I mean, I do it when I'm there. And sometimes you end up with a couple things in the bag that you really meant to return, but you run out of time, or you have a closet full of stuff that isn't your size anymore, or you've never even taken the tags off. So, yeah, it just really, we don't miss that at all. When we need something, we can buy it. We live a life. It's obviously because we live out of a suitcase and move at least, every month, if not more often.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, it just is. We only buy what we need when we need it, and it's really very free.
Yes, I feel exactly the same. It's the freedom that you feel to don't being worried or concerned about, I have to wear the shoes that there are on
Somebody on TV.
yeah, exactly. All that kind of stuff. It's just things that we don't have in our brains anymore.
Yeah, I mean, you can't. There's no room for a second pair of shoes, let alone a second handbag or,
Mm-hmm.
new fancy whatever.
Yes.
The second part, which really struck us as we went to Portugal, settled into another dream life, retirement dream life as an expat, and then realized we were having the exact same issue we were having in the States, which is we had no control or very little control over our spending. So much became mandatory. Our lease, our car payment, our utilities, our cell phones, everything becomes a contract and a plan and so you're spending so much of your money without having any decision point in it. That's very frustrating.
Yes, I really don't miss that part. I mean, it feels like a lot of peace of mind, and you just don't have to spend time thinking about those kind of things.
Yeah, every time we decide to spend money on it, yeah, we think about it because we're very much on a budget, but we don't have to worry about like how much has already gone out the door. Now we do have to think about how much we spent on this month's Airbnb or this month's hotels, but still, our budget is much more flexible to our desires for that particular week and month. It's a freedom that we really didn't expect, and it's been great.
Mm-hmm.
So again, we don't miss having so much committed spending, and that's the difference in the lifestyle that giving up everything and hitting the road has done for us.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing, as somebody who has owned homes for 40 years almost, I don't miss owning a home, and I know that seems crazy, but the fixed costs again, and just the constant maintenance, upgrades, time to redo this, repaint, reseal, replace something. It was, even when I bought a brand new construction home, there was always something going on, and I don't miss that at all. Even just the yard work, I used to love getting out and mowing the lawn, maybe doing a little gardening, and I don't miss that at all.
And not just that, but the meetings with the HOA, the taxes that you have to pay every year. I mean, all that list, that it seems like it keeps growing.
Yeah, especially in the
some
retirement
reason.
world.
Yes.
You move into these, retirement communities or just areas that a lot of retirees move to, and they tend to be gated community, golf course communities, whatever. And yeah, the rules are stricter than getting into, than we face in, countries that are communist.
So that part, I don't miss that at all.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, one thing we definitely noticed right away in our travels around Europe and Asia and now even into South America is we don't miss the lack of that security, the sense of safety that we had in the States. And, it's a tough one because it really bothered me the most with simple things like I can't get a package delivered to my house because somebody's going to steal it. I have to have it dropped off in a lockbox at the store. It drove me nuts. And then there, of course, is things like, the theft. If you leave anything in your car, somebody's going to smash your window and grab it.
Mm-hmm.
Or just, I hate to say it, the fear of gun violence. It was a palpable thing, especially if you went somewhere after dark.
Yes, and it's not just because some of you might think, oh, it's because you were living in Denver. Denver is a pretty safety city.
Yeah.
And I hear from some of my friends that live in other states how difficult for them is, after certain point in the year or slowly is becoming less safer everywhere in the country.
Yeah. Like I said, from the petty stuff to the actual, you need to fear, maybe for your life or your safety. That was something we don't miss. And as I said, we've been all over the world, and there are only a handful of countries out there, and most of them are pretty, war torn, that you really fear for your safety in.
Mm-hmm.
Even here in Colombia, we walk around all the time, and people are so nice. There are certain areas you don't go.
Exactly, like everywhere else,
Yeah. Just, you got to learn where not to go. Thank God I've got the local here to help steer me out of the stupid stuff. Most of it.
Uh-huh.
The next thing is needing to work. And we've talked about this in other videos, is we realized that we would probably never be able to actually retire, at least 100%, until well into Social Security. We'd have to let our Social Security max out probably. And if that's you, if you're facing being 67, 70 years old to get enough money from Social Security, hopefully, that you then will be able to retire. Let's just say we spend less than half of what we were spending in the States for a fairly middle class, slightly above middle class lifestyle in Denver. But we spend less than half that traveling the world. That includes our travel costs.
And it's not just that we're not organized with our budgets or when we were living over there or anything like that, where we spend more than we're supposed to. No, we both were working, and the more we look the numbers, the more we notice that with the prices or the way the prices are growing over there, inflation and all that, it was going to be something that we have to do for the rest of our lives.
Yeah, we left right before inflation took off. That post-COVID, pre-inflation little window. That's when we sold everything and left. And so this is pre the inflation issues and the supply chain that have happened over the last couple of years. When we were just back there in the States, the prices of things didn't even make sense. The milk, we're not
the basics.
Yeah, milk and eggs and things like that. And yeah, we're not talking the jump in the price of eggs. We're talking the regular price of eggs now. And at the end of all that, with that knowing we were going to keep working, it really made us realize that we had no freedom. The most we could hope is maybe we would move to a less expensive area. And there aren't a lot of areas that we want to go live that are less expensive than Denver. Denver may be a moderately expensive city, but I've lived all over the country, and there are not a lot of places that I have been, which is almost everywhere, that I want to live full time. And that's the other part of it. The flip side of that in our life now is when we want to be in a beach area, we go to a beach area. We want to be in a cool area or the mountains, we can go there. We just don't go there in the winter. There's no snow in our future.
No, we're trying very hard to stay away from the snow and the cold weather.
Yeah, we literally own, running jackets, just rain jackets. We don't own anything to keep ourselves warm.
Summertime.
Yeah, this is it, folks. I don't even own long sleeve things anymore. So, um, and finally, the last thing we do not miss is the healthcare nightmare that is the United States. And this doesn't include, the changes that are happening in Medicare, which we would eventually be on. But just the health insurance hoops you have to jump through, permissions you have to get, the costs and the deductibles and copays and all that stuff. And really, for me, it was the unknown cost. You simply can't go to get anything done and get a cost up front. They won't tell you. Now, maybe your dentist will tell you, but if they get in there and they find something, it adds on. That has not been our experiences around the world, from emergency dental in New Zealand to emergency rooms in Vietnam and Thailand. They tell you up front, this is what it's going to cost. The only add-ons are what drugs actually get prescribed after the doctor sees the results of the tests.
And the other thing, adding to that area is just thinking the older you get, the more healthcare you're going to need. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter how healthy you are, how healthy you eat, how much exercise you do. For sure, in some point of your life, you're going to need more healthcare, more medicine. And imagine living with that pressure, the prices of the healthcare in the States. I mean, for us, it's a huge, huge peace of mind that we don't have to worry.
Yeah, it's we have friends who are diabetic, and their insulin costs went from a couple $100 a month to $35 a month, and now they're back to $300, $400, $500 a month because of the changes in the laws. That's crazy. I mean, it's medicine that costs pennies to make. Mm-hmm. I don't mind people making profit, but come on, that's just silly.
For me, I think that's the biggest one that give me a big peace of mind. Don't have to worry about that. Knowing that at some point, whatever happens to me, I can go and have a very quality healthcare in another country.
Yeah, we've gotten great quality healthcare. And the other thing I've noticed is we have better service, like the level of care, the level of just walking you around to make sure you get where you need to go and helping with paperwork and stuff has been better in other countries. Now, we are paying for private hospitals, international hospitals, but again, we're paying less for the actual healthcare we receive than we were paying in health insurance back in the States before we had all the add-on costs. And then when you go to a hospital in the US or you go to see your doctor in the US, how often do you get really good service?
Yeah, and not just the basic, that maybe you have this issue that is not such a big deal. But what if you have an accident? What if you fall down in the shower? I mean, that will cost thousands of dollars.
Yeah. I know people who fell, broke their hip, and suddenly it's a major surgeries, major recoveries. It's months of rehab, and those costs just add up back in the States, and they don't most everywhere else. And there are some other people who have done some really good videos about retirement options in other places, not just becoming an expat, but actual retirement developments going on in places in Southeast Asia and other areas of the world, because they're looking at the baby boomer generation and our generation, which we're slightly past the baby boomer. Yes, we are a little younger than baby boomers. And those folks are going to want to retire somewhere they can afford it. And, these are sub $1,500, $2,000 a month, kind of full retirement communities with, the in-home healthcare, and then moving to, the assisted living and into potentially hospice.
That wasn't an option for us.
Oh, not in the U.S. No, in the U.S., I mean, I watched my parents do it, and they spent a fortune to get into a place. And then, my mom passed and my dad left because he just didn't want to be there anymore by himself. And it's just one of those things where it's just, the cost of insurance back then, the long-term care insurance, as they call it, would basically require us to go back to work again. So again, this is not trying to slam the U.S. The U.S. as a land of opportunity, a place where you can, do amazing things, work for amazing companies, innovate and develop and be rewarded, is still as good as there is in the planet. But I'm talking about when you get to this stage of life where you're ready for retirement, you want to get out, the opportunities, that to do what we do, you're not going to miss these things. You'll miss your family and friends.
Oh, that's for sure.
again, we're talking from the perspective of people who have left, who are now out on the road, who've traveled the world. Again, as we said, we've circled the globe twice now and tried a lot of countries. We've actually lived in one in Portugal. And these are things, this is the life, pieces of life we do not miss from what I think most people would consider the American dream. And please add your comments. We would love to hear from you. You know, we're not looking to get in a flame war. So if you've got just a disagreement, you think we're slamming the U.S., we're not. But we do want to hear what you think. And maybe you've got an idea for something we can talk about. Otherwise, thank you for watching.
Thank you for watching.
Take care. Happy travels.
Bye.
Bye-bye. After 3 years on the road, we now look back and kind of, I really,